All right, some work on the XJS. Haven't done any work on the XJS for a long time. Probably a couple of years. I've been busy with other things. But here's my problem. I have an electrical challenge. So let's get the ignition on. Okay. I have no, if I can get this, windows. And I have no lower fan. The fan you can hear is the auxiliary fan under the bonnet. Right, I have ability to switch that off. Let's try it now. See, no fan. So I've got no fan, no lower fan, but the higher fan works, and no power. And an interesting thing which helps me solve this is that I have a temperature gauge just there. You can't see it because it's black. Let's see, I can open this. There it is. It's a temperature gauge and a couple of lights indicating a timer is on to run the auxiliary fan, and that the auxiliary fan is on. It's actually connected to the air conditioning. That takes its power from under there, from the power windows, because it was the only thing that I could easily get to that had power all the time. That's also stopped working. So it's something there, or it's something under there. Let me show you more. Is the basic wiring diagram for the car. If I zoom in, here we have the power windows. There is power from the ignition switch up here, which comes down through a relay, which is triggered when the ignition is turned on, which takes power to the two switches there. And then this is the earth. That relay's broken, or something's broken up there or down there. So what I'm going to do, these are of course under the console. This is under the passenger side scuttle behind a panel apparently. So I'm going to take that out and I'm going to get in there and do some diagnoses. Okay, so printed out the circuit diagram for this region, this part of the car, and we can see that red green and green red power the motors, and there they are, the solid larger red, thinner green, larger green, thinner red for the passenger side. However, the color for the main power says here red blue. That comes in from the relay and the circuit breaker. But here it is brown blue. So it's a bit different, but I can live with that. I mean, I know which is which. So my first thing, hang on, I always like to do this when I'm testing electrics. I want to take power straight from the battery and test stuff, right? So there's the earth. An earth wire, so I'm bypassing any kind of earth break, and the first thing I'll do is check the earth. The earth wire is black. There it is, the black one. Set the multimeter to resistance. Got the earth wire coming in from the battery, and then where's the other end of it? Here. So now I just touch that on the earth terminal there, and it's reading no resistance. So the earth is working. Now I'm going to turn that to DC volts, and I'm going to go into the power, which is in my diagram red-blue, but on here it's blue-brown, and if I put that in there, nothing. I mean, that's reading millivolts. So there's no power coming in, which is sort of what I suspected. I'm going to check the motors, and then I'm going to move on to another zone. Okay, to test that the power motor works, the power window motor, I'm taking 12 volts from the battery. I'm just going to check with the multimeter that it's actually working, so I can just put that on any earth. There. Yep. Okay, so I'm bringing 12 volts in straight from the battery on this wire, as I showed you. There it goes. Sorry about the angles. And I'm just chucking it straight into the back probing on the power in. And so the motors work, the switch works, it's the power. It's taken me about an hour to work that out because I spent so much time putting all these little cables together. I'll check the other side and then I'm going to move on. Okay, so now I'm going in here. There is a panel there which goes to the fuses, you know, and it could be, so that just comes off with a slim pull Phillips flat screwdriver. I originally thought this is going to be a fuse problem, but I can't find a fuse for the power windows. I went online and somebody had posted a wiring diagram from a later model and there was a fuse there that you could change, but I don't have a fuse. I think this is behind that panel. That's what I read. I'll go and check it. It's in Palm's book, I think. I read it about 2 months ago. So I'm going to take this off, just a few screws here. 1, 2, and there's a couple around here. That comes down. Had this off before. And then I'm going to poke around in there, check the Palm's book, and take a look at it. Okay, so I'm coming back to this book, XJS Repair Operations Manual. Window lift relay 862528. It says remove passenger side dash liner, which I just done, but if you, and it says go to 764611. If you go to 764611, it's removing the driver's side. Okay, so that's already confusing. This is, and it's a North American version, the driver's on the left side. But if we go down here, you can see that it indicates there the passenger side is American version, there the passenger side is the British version. It says the plate on the North American specification cards, relay is mounted on the rear of plate 0.5, which is indicated there, which is there. And it's also indicated there. So I'm going to have to go and take the other side off and see what I can see. Okay, so the driver's side, clearly driver's side. I've taken that off. I've had a look up there. And I mean, I've been out here before. I don't see anything that looks like what I saw in the book. So if I go over to the passenger side, we're now back here on the passenger side, and I'm starting to think it could be that. The wire colouring there is starting to match. So I'm going to take that off and take a closer look at it. Just trying to capture it together, and I've got no hands left. It's a little different, but the bottom piece is the same and the two pieces on the right are the same. And if I turn it around, I don't know what it is, that page, there is a unit, and the colors are black, brown, blue. What else is in there? Black and brown, blue. Brown, blue, and black, and I should have had a white one going in, but that white one goes into the, if I look down there, white pink. Have I got a white pink one on the back there? I can't see, but I mean, as proven, these aren't very reliable, or rather, they're different. I'm going to take this off and take a look at it. You know, I look closer, that's pink white there, that one. So that's the power from the ignition, triggers the relay with the black, and then the power is connected blue brown, and this one of these goes off to the power windows. Now the one thing I noticed, that, what do they call it, circuit breaker, which I thought was a fuse, is not here. That's the relay. That picture looks very much like those two pieces there. 1, 2. And the colors going in are brown, blue, and brown, red. No, brown or brown, red, brown and brown, blue, and this is brown and brown, blue, but there's two of them now. Sorry, down there. But I think those are the circuit breakers, and that's the, that is the relay. So I'm going to test the relay, and I'm going to test the circuit breakers. I'm going to check for power in. Okay, here's the relay, corresponding to that relay there. The power goes in 8586, which is these two. So if I connect these two, I'm sorry about the background noise. There is a lawnmower going. We should see, we hear a click, but there's no click. Second, actually I'll leave that one on there and I'll disconnect it from the battery. Second, we should see, hopefully you can see that, putting it to impedance. That is terminal 30 and 87, which is the little switch that should close. If I put those there. Open circuit. If I connect this up, still open circuit. And it's open. Sorry, it's closed. It's functioning. That is a working resistor. So it looks like this is busted. And it's just a really simple little relay. I've got some. So I might just replace that and see what happens. So that one's duff. I got a new one here. I got it connected up to the power. Of course it's going to work because it's new. These things are not expensive. I bought a box of 10 to do. I need 3 hands here, obviously. Well, I'm going to plug it in. You can hear it click. And when I do that, the circuit closes. So I can do a direct replacement. So got the old one out. I've got a new one in there. Just plugged it in the same way. We're going to turn the ignition on. And check the windows. My little temperature gauge is working. Fan. The lower fan's not working. That's a separate thing then. Oh dear. Okay, so what's the takeaway? This wasn't that hard to find after all. Now I know where it is. The books are misleading. Every year seems to be different, or many changes over the years, so you got to work it out as you go. If I had known that this was just a relay, I thought it was something more complicated for some reason. I maybe would have tried to get there first, but I was sort of avoiding heading into this area because it was all a bit unknown and I didn't know what I was going to face. Hopefully this video helped you. You can go straight to it on an 86 North America version. That is also a resistor, but I don't know what for. Not a resistor, what do they call it? Circuit breaker, otherwise known as a fuse. I don't know what that one does. I probably will check it actually just to make sure it's okay. And then I'm just going to put it all back together. It's really simple. It's a couple of bolts up there. Just put all this back in, put that bolted onto the back side of this. Let me just expand a bit. That goes on the other side of this plate. 2 screws, put the panel back. And that's it. Little update about getting that top bolt in. That is not easy. Bottom one's easy. But what I did was I removed this piece and this little piece. And I used a combination of a flexible head on the end of an extension and also a magnetic probe thing, you know, picks up things. So I used the magnetic probe to place the nut just gently on the end of the thread, tightened it with my fingers, and then went in and tightened it up with this and an 11mm.